Alright, another day on the garage. Today was supposed to be quality time with Murr, and we were going to polish the roof, make this thing look all nice, stuff like that. I went and got some fine grit sandpaper he wanted to sand and polish and all that. Well, he's not here. I guess he had old guy stuff, retirement, business meetings, I don't know what he had going on, but so I'm on my own. Anyways, while I was at the paint store, I picked up, well, the auto body store, I picked up some paint, a little color match, because I was running low on the this color green, so I got that. So I think what I'm going to do today, and I feel like I should forewarn you, I'm going to butcher this thing together. This is the worst. I might do a little bit of welding on this. Whoops. Down there needs a little bit of love in the that region right there. The other fender cap, same thing. It's actually not too bad. I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm just gonna filler on that. Because here's the best part. I don't care if it rusts. It just matches the car. Down here, so in the last, well, one of the last videos, I don't know what it was, but I just welded that on, ground it down, and painted it. I didn't even put any filler on it. Looks fine. Just gotta kind of like maybe rough it up a little bit. It'll match the car just perfectly. So, I think it'll be a fun video. You guys get to watch. On every step of the way that I'm doing something wrong, probably starting right now, tell me I'm wrong in the comments, so I'll learn. I need to be put back on the straight and narrow. Anyways, let's butcher this thing together. Should be a fun time. Welders out, grinders out. Man, it's all I use out here. But yeah, we'll get after it. I think I'm going to, we're going to like bodywork it. We'll weld, bodywork, paint, prep, have the whole thing done. It's Saturday, so I only have a few hours. So job really gets in the way of my free time before we got our live stream. So hopefully you guys are in that. But yeah, we'll have this thing Pebble Beach ready before you know it. All right. So we clearly have all the right tools. Yep. So, got a set of gardening gloves ahead on sale. We're going to use a section of this panel that was for the other side fender. You can't throw out good metal. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to draw myself a little piece. We're going to stick in the back, give her a few welds just so it has something to hold on to, and we're going to schmoo goo. Step one of being wrong. But before I do that, I'm going to give it just a quick grind so we have maybe some decent metal to weld to. I mean, really, the welder already wasn't out. Probably wouldn't be using it. Jesus. So I was just taking out my little headlight bucket to put in my perfectly English wheeled panel. I peed myself a little. There's like a friggin' wasp nest in there. I mean, I assume they're all dead, right? But just things you're not expecting to see. Well, I wasn't expecting to see. Huh. It scared the daylights out of me. Call Danny out here to handle this. Okay, now that I safely knocked the wasp nest out with a screwdriver, I assume there's nothing in there. So check this out. We're just going to go ahead and put that piece in there. I'll probably give it a tack, push it up with a screwdriver. We're actually got a fancy pry bar. I feel like I should send this video to the people that email me and want me to work on their cars. And I have to say, no, I just work on my own stuff because I'm a bit of a hack here. That's what I'm going to email. It's a little hot. Put a few marshmallows on it. Well, that's cooling. What are we going to do? This side I'm just going to schmuck. Yeah, so I guess we'll do the same thing. Stupid tripod. Trying to steal my thunder. I think we'll probably just go ahead and cut a little piece out and do the same thing. This one has a nice edge on it, so I can actually go right to the edge, make a nice little box, grind that off, give her a little schmuck of paint. I think I want to put a self-tapper in this. I actually have another nice piece of chrome if I ever get not lazy, but for the time being this keeps getting caught on the door, and every time it frustrates me, so self-tapper. So down here we're going to hack it together slightly different. If I can cut a nice little rectangle out and keep it all kind of in one piece, even though it's all rotted in here, I can then use it as a template, which might save me a little bit of time. So we'll see. Ah. Okay, so now we got our fender all kind of done, and honestly, that's not a terrible patch. I mean, I could have done a better job at it, and whatever. It's all metal. This is now cool a touch, so we're good for filler. My recommendation for filler is buy the best filler you can, and don't accidentally spill a bunch of metal grinding dust. Anyways. All I ever use is just these to spread it, get it out of there. I know a lot of people hate that, but you know what these are? Like, you just get these from like Home Depot or whatever. And the trick is, it's like, you know when you're getting cheese from the Olive Garden, you ask for one, you just more. They're free. So use that. It's the only squeegee I could find. It's junk. And some sort of miscellaneous box, like this one right here. And we'll just schmoo her all together, mix it up, and then we're gonna give her a couple of shellac coats. This one, all I'm going to do is just the edges or whatever, and good enough. Look again, look what we're trying to match. Gong show. We just don't want it to be, it's the right amount of butchery. Alright, we'll get schmooing, and then we'll let it dry and I'll bring it right back. Alright, a couple of top schmoo coats, we good, and then just give this one a couple of dollops. So I'm going to, bloop, bloop, that's how you know you put on the right amount of filler, bloop, as it falls down. How many journeyman bodyman guys have I pissed off in this video already? Anyways, Danny's got some bagel bites in the oven, so we're going to crank the heat in the garage, let her warm up a little bit because I had the heat off while I'm talking. Stupid furnace. Well, electric heater's junk. It's annoying. Hear it in the background of the filming, so I'm sure you guys probably hate it too. So, let this set up for, I don't know, 3 or 4 bagel bites, and then be back at it. Alright, so she's all hardened up. Murr actually called, and he's going to come over and do some polishing. So, better late than never, right? Old people sleeping until noon, not putting his pants on till 2. But, so anyways, I'm going to blaze through this real quick, because I'd like to try and get the mucky body filler part out of the way before he's going to be here in the next kind of half hour. You might see me in the background of this video, and I'll be switching. Hopefully I can get this jammed together, and then while it's, like, you know, drying for paint and all that, I'll be helping Murr on that video. We're really hustling over here, ddspeedshop. But yeah, so when I hit this, honestly, I'll probably do the first bit of this, shape it with the grinder and like an 80 grit disc, and then I always just use I use 3M sandpaper and start with like 40 or 80 grit to really rough it in shape, and then just kind of get her to some 240 maybe. Give her a little dusting of filler, let that dry, see what happens. This I'm just gonna randomly blow in. Same with that. This I'll probably try and mask off the door a little bit and just, I don't know what I'll do there. Doesn't look like there's like this is right down to bare metal, so yeah, maybe I'll put some primer on that too. But yeah, all right, I'm gonna get cleaned up a little bit, get the welder out of the way, because I think we're done with the welder for today. Put everything else that I don't think I'm gonna use, make a little bit of a walkway, and then we'll get the old time-lapse camera going, and we'll get this all sanded down. Alright, so we got it roughed in there, rough. So I hit it with 40 and then 80. Same down there. Same over here. It's funny because I'm sculpting with sandpaper and Murr's polishing with sandpaper. So look forward to that video. But yeah, so I'm gonna hit it a couple more times. I got some, I think it's 180 and then some 320. So I'll just kind of get a few of the sanding scratches and all that out, the real ugly stuff. Again, not that it really matters, because we're gonna paint it or prime it, paint it, scuff it. So how much sanding do you really want to do? But I think we're rust free. How many more times am I gonna say rust free on this car, Murr, before it's actually rust free?
Let's not talk tailgate.
Don't polish into anything. Oh, tailgate. Oh. All right, well, I'm gonna do a little bit more sanding here. Murr's using time-lapse camera. He's always hogging all my good stuff. Yeah, we'll bring it back one more time. Well, I guess we're ready for primer, really. So, we're all sanded down. Murr's working on that fender, so I didn't get a whole lot done. But now we have our trim clad, not sponsored. And now is always the tricky part. How much primer, how much paint, how much all that stuff do you put on? So, we're going to go ahead and just dust her in there. All I did was I masked the door, just so I didn't get hit. But really, as long as the filler and the paint have a little bit of primer on it, we'll kind of let that dry, and probably give it a couple coats and give it a few hours to harden up nice, and then we'll coat it with the green, and then let that kind of do its thing. Then we'll scuff through it. In the meantime, I'm actually going to jump into the future and help Murr wet sand in a future video. So how about that? 2 at once. So yeah, we'll come back when this is dry, and we're putting on the color. Okay, so the primer is dry, and I got my touch-up can ready to go. So this is where it's a little bit of whatever. Let's kind of blend her on in. I think that's all I'm going to do, is just around the brow, and then we'll kind of fade in. We're figuring out, like I said, in the next video we're working on as well, Murr's polishing, is wet sanding. And I think obviously we're going to end up doing this this fender as well. So I'll probably scuff it up light, but then as we wet sand it, it really brings it down. It kind of makes it look a little bit nicer. We'll see how that fender turned out. It actually kind of had paint up in here, which I don't mind. So I may do that on the polishing video or some other time. But yeah, look at that. You can hardly tell it was rotted out to nothing, right? Over at ddspeedshop Hack and Slash Bodywork. Oh, that's a different color. That's embarrassing. I'll have to get the other color. I'll be right back. So we're green. Obviously, I was trying to show you guys to make sure you check your can before you just start laying out paint, because that's a common mistake an amateur would make. I would not make that mistake, but the average amateur would. So I painted that, put a second coat on, but one quick coat here. I didn't primer this at all because it was right down the rust, so we'll just see what happens. So it's going to bleed through another shot or so. So I'm going to get back to helping her sanding. While this kind of dries, we'll give her another coat maybe. And the next time you guys see it, we'll be scuffing it up, making it look ratty like the rest of the car. Actually looks kind of cool like that. But yeah. And down here, like I said, I just kind of misted her up in there. It is what it is. The bottom is metallic. It's a kind of a cool color. But once Murr repolishes the whole unit, it'll be perfect. Okay, so it's been a couple hours. Paint is hard, shiny. Kind of a cool color, eh? So we're going to ruin it. Down there, same deal. So what I have is I've just a kind of wet sponge. I got some 400 or 500 grit, and this is 1000. So I'm just going to kind of wear through it a little bit, make it look a little weathered, just so it's not terrible. We're going to end up doing this whole side of the car in a future video, I'm sure, because we're doing this side, polishing it up, and we're wet sanding it. It's coming around pretty good. A lot of work though. So I'm just going to do this just so it doesn't look ridiculous for the video. It's all about continuity, right? So yeah, I'll set you up on the old spaghetti legs, and then we'll get this dialed together and call her a video. Well, look at that. So it's all cleaned up. It's dull, wet sanded, but the rust is all gone. Looks pretty good, I think. Anyways, I'm happy with it. Murr's done a good job on this. That's all you're gonna see on this video, because he's working hard on that side. So I gotta hustle up and finish up, because we're gonna finish this side. Needs much more polishing, but that's how you butcher a couple of fender caps and a little patch together and whatever else we did and make it look like a hot rod, right? But that's it in this video. Thanks for watching. As always, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel, tell your friends, and it's Saturday night today, so if you're watching us on another Saturday, we go live on Saturday nights, so see you there, 7:30 Central. Alright guys, see you on the next one. You didn't think I'd forget, did you?
What was that?